far as throwing stuff, I don't think I could tolerate that. Hopefully I'm quick enough to dodge
dodge
anything now, but soft goods I'm used to having thrown.
But nothing solid.
Nothing solid, yeah. Hi, I'm Tim McGraw, and this is Billboard News.
Hey, it's Tetris with Billboard News, and I'm chilling with country music legend Tim McGraw. Thanks for coming.
Thank you, man. Thanks for having me.
I like it, I love it, I want some more of it, to live like you were dying. If you're gonna remember me well.
We gotta talk about this, the 17th studio album you've put together. How do you even keep yourself motivated to make music at this point? I haven't done anything 17 times.
Anything 17?
Nothing.
Actually, it seems like there's been more, because I've been doing it for 30 years, I guess, a little over 30 years. It seems like there's more albums out there. If you count all the greatest hits and all the 22 greatest hits Kurt Records put out.
Well, that's good you have enough hits to do that.
There's maybe that, but what usually happens is when I get ready to do a project, I sort of had these ideas of the kinds of music and the kind of messages I want to sing about, the kind of sonically what I want the record to sound like. So I'll start writing songs with the themes that I want, and I'll finish a song and I'll think, this is pretty good. This is kind of what I wanted to say. So I might cut this one. And then sure enough, like Tom Douglas or Laurie McKenna or the Warren Brothers will send me a song, and it's saying what I was trying to say, but way better. So then my song goes in the bin. So I made one song on the album that I wrote.
Which song was that?
Nashville, California, LA, Tennessee.
Greyhound bus and a walk of fame. It's a hard lesson in what distance can do.
That came from a story. My oldest daughter was moving to LA. So I have this 19-year-old Cadillac Escalade that I can't get rid of. We call it the Griswold Family Cruiser. And I ripped all the seats out of it and loaded all of Gracie's stuff in, and her and I did a road trip from Nashville to LA to move her out there. We spent about 4 days traveling, staying in great spots and doing carpool karaoke and singing songs together. She's a fantastic singer. And we got to LA, it was late at night, and I was moving her in her place, moving boxes in, and by that time she was ready to get rid of me. And finally she said, "Dad, you have to go." So I gave her a big hug and I just cried like a baby.
Standing room only, standing room only.
And tell me about Standing Room Only. Why that title and why that song?
When I first heard it, I loved the song. I loved the message and what it said and the positivity that it had. This song is one of those, from the time I sat down on the guitar and started learning it and playing it and singing it, all right, this feels pretty good. Every step along the way, it just got better and better and better and better. And then when we got to the final mix, Byron and I were sitting at the board mixing the song, and when we finally finished it, we sort of looked at each other and said, "This is something really special." And he sort of just raised his hand and said, "I'm going to be the first single."
I love that. And then you're going on tour, so talk to me about that and what fans can expect.
Yeah, it's the first time we've been in arenas in a long time. It's probably going to be one of the biggest productions we've ever had. So I'm pretty excited to have all the bells and whistles, and it's fun for me. I mean, I like to put on a show for everybody else, but all the stuff up there is fun for me as well.
And you get to see your fans, and speaking of country music fans, I mean, they're doing amazing things right now. You got Luke Combs, you got Morgan Wallen. The top 10 of the Hot 100 is full of country music.
I love it.
So how do you feel about that right now in country sort of resurgence competing with like hip hop and pop?
I love it. I mean, it's the more we can bring to the party, the better. Country music has consistently grown for a long time. When new people discover it and they find out they didn't think they liked it, and then they'll hear something, all of a sudden they'll discover other people. And I think for a long time, the country music industry fought the crossover idea, or the idea that other people are listening to their music or other stations are playing their music. The industry itself sort of fought against that for a while. I think my wife got the brunt end of that quite a bit when she was having a lot of crossover success.
I can feel you breathe, washing over me, and suddenly I'm melting into you.
In my mind, I think you miss the point when you feel that way, because not only is it good for that artist that happens to, but it's good for all the other artists as well.
And I love your candidness and just how your energy right now, right? You've always been so confident and open, whether you're talking about politics, anything. And with country music and everything that's happening right now, how do you feel like music reflects your thoughts? And should it be separate?
I think as an artist, you just make your music and it lands where it lands, and you take the consequences of it either way. I can't speak to what other artists do when they're making music. What I can say is I'll let my music and the kind of music that I make and the kind of messages that I put out speak for itself.
And what I do want to ask you lastly is, what do you have left to say? What does Tim McGraw want to tell the world after decades of good music?
I don't know. I just want to keep getting better at my craft and honor my craft and not take it for granted and not think it's just there and it's going to be there. I think the moment that I feel like I'm not making better music than I made the last time I was in is probably the time to stop. And right now I feel like I'm making the best music I've ever made.
Hey whiskey, what'd I ever do to you?
Well, your fans aren't going anywhere, man. So thank you so much for hanging
Thank
out
you,
with
man.
us.
My pleasure.